2008 Pontiac G5. I got a P0411 and my check engine light is on. So right here, my check engine light's on, and I got my scanner hooked up. I'll show you the code I got. P0411, secondary air injection, incorrect airflow detected. Now, it's going to be two things. I'm going to show you what you could check. But first, I got a Pontiac G5. Mine's a 2008 with a 2.2 liter. And this was my problem right here. This is the air control servo valve. It has a few different names it goes by, but it's mounted on the back of the engine right there. You may have a bad air injection pump, which is down here. And then also check the wiring. There's a lot of reports about the ground wires for the pump and the servo. Where it like mounts to the frame or the engine, it breaks. But this part is sold on Amazon. I'm going to link it below. This is the GM secondary air injection shutoff and check valve. It comes as like a whole assembly. They sell the GM one, and then they also sell an aftermarket one. I got this one for $79.99, and it works great. It has 5-star ratings. I'll link this one, and I'll link the GM OEM one if you want to go that route. And then here's what the air injection pumps look like. I'll link these two. They also have the GM genuine pump on here in case your pump is bad. But I'm going to show you how to diagnose this. So basically, this guy has a hose that runs down to the air injection pump. The air injection pump is basically like an air mattress pump. It just blows air into this guy, and this guy's supposed to open up at the same time and let the air go into the exhaust to go to the cat. So let me show you what's up here. During a cold start, the air pump should blow air through that black hose right into that motor. So like this is what it sounds like when it's on. You should hear a lot of air coming out of there. And then I just commanded it on, so I know my pump's good. And at the same time, this is supposed to open up and allow the air go into the exhaust to help warm up the cat through that metal tube down there. Now, if you have access to a scanner, you can turn on the air pump and come listen at the exhaust, and you could hear the air coming through when the car is off. Not when the engine's running, of course. But if you don't have a scanner, maybe you could pop this black hose off and then do a cold start and see if air is coming out of it. What happened to me is I turned the pump on and I wasn't getting any air out the exhaust. So this thing is stuck shut, and it needs to be replaced. Because that valve is supposed to open at the same exact time the air pump kicks on, and then they work together and the air goes through. But basically, here's my new one I got from Amazon. This is the part. It's like a replica of the OEM one. I put it in, it worked. My check engine light went away. I haven't had any problems since. So I'm going to show you how to replace this. First, we're going to pop off this connector right here. Just slide this lock tab back, and then once the lock tab slide back, you can push down and pull that off like that. Now this black hose has to come off. You want to squeeze the tabs and pull the hose off. I had to use two hands. This hose is really hard to get off. It's really stout. But yeah, you're going to squeeze that. Try not to break it. Try not to break anything. I'm sure at this point these cars are old and starting to get brittle. But I got that off. Now once that's off, I'm going to take out these two bolts down here for that metal tube. It's a 10 millimeter. Go ahead and just get that back there, and try not to drop these bolts. Got one, I get the other one. All right, cool, got these out. Set those aside. Now I got this one here, and then this one here, and then this one on this side. Now the one on the side is a 13 millimeter. So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy off. Alright, got him off. And then I'm going to switch to a longer extension. Maybe use a swivel if you need to. And then I'm going to get these ones off right here. Alright, now these ones over here might be a 13 as well, but sometimes they're a 12. It's kind of odd. So if you go to put your socket on and it's not fitting, you know, it's not you, it's the car. I'll go ahead and get this out. Okay, got that guy out. And then we'll get this other one here. Alright I got it loose, and then I just use my hands to get it off. Now once that's off, this will come out like this. And, we're going to get that more kind of brown rusted piece off. It has a gasket, and it's just, we got to switch that over to the new part. So I got my 8mm. I'm going to go ahead and take this little 8mm bolt out, remove this guy, and then these gaskets are like kind of old. They've been on there for a while, and the old like remaining of the gasket needs to be removed. I'm going to go ahead and use my little biscuit grinder and just clean those up. If you don't have this, or you could use a wire brush, a little wire brush, just to clean the old gasket off. Alright, get this off. Now if you don't have this stuff, like it's not a huge deal. You could probably be alright. You know, it's just good to get the gaskets off completely. And then I also clean that little port out as best I could with a little brush. Alright, so got that cleaned up. And then over here, there is gasket remains here. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to use my wire brush and just clean these off right here. And get this as best as possible. Alright. And then I kind of just like pre-assembled this onto here, but just make sure you put your gaskets on when you do it. Those two gaskets are the same exact gasket, so I got one right there. I didn't tighten anything down yet because I'm going to wait until I got all the bolts in that I need in before I like really tighten stuff down. Alright, so now everything's good, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten these down. Alright. Now I'm going to put my new gasket on down here. Like that. And careful not to drop it. It's kind of tough to line up. You know, whatever works for you to get these gaskets on here and lined up, then do that. Go ahead and put this in this way. Yeah, sometimes it could be a little annoying to line everything up, but I'm going to hand start everything first before I tighten anything down. And then I went ahead and just put this hose on just to kind of line it up. Got this on, and I'm tightening my bolts down, all three up here. The new one came with a new bolt right here where I'm spinning it, so that was kind of convenient. All I gotta do is tighten it in. Alright, and then make sure this black hose is on as tight as possible. It's kind of tough to get on, so if you're having a hard time, don't beat yourself up. Now we'll get our connector on right here. Push the whole connector on first, the sleeve, and then push the lock in after you got it in, after you got the sleeve on all the way, and then it should lock in place.
Alright guys, that's all the information I got for you. The rest of the video is just some products and other stuff I got going on. Totally up to you if you want to stick around. I got a 15% off promo code for AUXITO.com. They got a handful of products, but what they're mostly known for is their really good aftermarket LED headlights. They've been out a few years now, and at first the lights they had were 200% brighter than regular headlight bulbs. Now they've upgraded the tech this year, and now it's 600% brighter. So if you're in the boonies, the suburbs, the city, I highly recommend you upgrade your bulbs. Nothing wrong with having an old car, but you should get with the times and have bright headlights like everyone else. These bulbs are available on Amazon. However, if you go to the AUXITO website, that's where I could give you a promo code for 15% off. All you got to do is go to the website, type in your year, make, and model. There's basically products for every car out there, and what kind of light you want. They have all kinds of different lights for interior, exterior, headlights. And then you just browse to what you need and you get it. And then at checkout, you're going to type in GearmoAuto and then hit apply in the coupon code spot, and it'll take 15% off.